Hi everybody, welcome to the Manifold channel. Today we're going to do something interesting. We're going to learn how to knock out a particular part of an image. So let's say we just want part of an image. What we're looking at here is an RGB image which has 3 channels. And we're looking at it in a map in Manifold System Release 9. Everything that we're doing here works in the free Manifold viewer as well. And the image is called Warren AFB. It shows the Warren Air Force Base in near Cheyenne, Wyoming. And right here in the base is a variety of facilities. And what we want to do is we want to knock out some of the pixels in the image so that we can just create an image that shows only part of what's here. For example, we only want to show the storage area here, and we also want to show only let's say this shopping district right there as well. And what we're going to do is we're going to use this drawing called storage area as a guide. If I put the drawing over top of that, and let's adjust the transparency in the layers pane. Let's make that 30% transparent. What I want to do is I want to keep only that part of the Warren Air Force Base image, which is covered by these 2 things here. So, you know, I can do a presentation then where we have a Bing or OpenStreetMap or some other sort of background layer, and only that part of the imagery that I want is going to show in that image. So let's see how we can do that. And what we're going to do is we're going to use the join dialog for that. We're going to use a few other facilities as well. So let's get right to it. I'm going to turn that off, turn off the storage area. And for starters, what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a channel that's a single channel image from this Warren Air Force Base image, because we're going to use that as a mask. And the Warren Air Force Base RGB image was created in one of the join dialog videos out of independent channels, channel for red, channel for green, channel for blue, and we showed how you could put all that together into a single RGB image using the join dialog. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how we can take use the transform pane to extract one of those channels. So I'm going to click transform, and with the focus here on the Warren Air Force Base image, which is RGB image, I'm going to choose channel. And what I want to do is I'm going to take channel 0 here, and I'm going to put it into a new component called channel 0 tiles, and channel 0 is the name of the image that I want. Let's see, does that look good? Yeah, okay, that looks right. So now when I click add component, Manifold will automatically create a new image for me, and here it is. If I double click it open, this is the contents of channel 0. And I'm just going to use this, first I just wanted to show you how to extract a channel out of the map, and second I wanted to show you how we can manipulate that channel 0 image. Let's take channel 0 and put it here into the map, because we're going to be working with joins, and joins between images and vectors and drawings only happen within the same map, so you have to have them as layers all in the same map. And I'm going to take storage area, and what I'm going to do now is I'm going to do a join between the storage area drawing and the channel 0 image. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to change the value of these pixels here by what's inside the area. And if you look at the storage area table, each of the images has an attribute called mask, and that has a value of 0 in it. So what I want to do is I want to take this channel 0 image, and I want to make all the pixels outside of the areas have a value of 255, and I want the pixels inside the areas to have a value of 0. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to use the transform pane to on this single channel image, channel 0, and I'm going to use the fill function. Where's fill? There's fill. Double click on fill, and I want to fill that with a value of 255. And so first I'm going to just fill the whole layer with 255. Excuse me, the whole image is 255. Click update field. Manifold swings into action, and 255 means it's all white in this case. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to transfer the value of 0 everywhere where these areas overlay into that image using the edit join dialog. Okay, so our target destination image is right here. That's the original image, channel 0, and the source for the join is going to be storage area, and putting what we want to put into channel 0 here, spatial join, using the content of the mask field. And so what's in mask is where every place where pixels within this raster are contained in areas here are going to get whatever the value of mask is. Oh, and I want to make that, I'm going to make that a minimum of the mask. You could, if areas don't overlap, you could use max, min, or sum. It's still the same thing. But I'm going to use minimum so that if in some future point I have more than one area overlapping, and one of them is 0 and one of them is not 0, then it'll take the minimum of the two areas and it'll make it 0. Okay, so let's join component. And off it goes. It's thinking away. There, it's done. If we turn off storage areas, we can see what we did to the channel 0 image. The channel 0 image now has pixels with the value of 0 every place where there was an area, and it has a value of 255 every place where there wasn't an area. That was easy to do. And now what we're going to do is we're going to use this channel 0 image as a mask to turn it off, to manipulate the Warren Air Force Base image here. And the way we're going to do that with the focus on the Warren Air Force Base image layer, I'm going to click Edit Join again. And now what I want to do is I want to create a new channel using the channel 0 storage area. And I'm going to click Add and take from channel 0 and storage area. It only has one channel. I'm going to add a new channel called channel 3. And that's going to simply copy the value of whatever's in channel 0. So the Warren Air Force Base image is going to go from having 1, 2, 3 channels, that's red, green, and blue channels, to a fourth channel. We're later going to use that fourth channel as an alpha channel, but for now we just want to create it. So I'm going to click Join. And it's now going to do a raster to raster join. It's going to join from this channel 0 image into the Warren image. And it can do that even though the channel 0 image is not turned on for display in the map. All right, let's wait for it. And it's almost done. And what's amazing is we're doing all this with images that are, as you can see, they're pretty darn big. There's, they're what, 700 megabytes worth of images. And release 9 just does that kind of like instantly. Okay, so now we have that done Warren Air Force Base. I'm going to delete that from the map, and then I'm going to re-add it because I haven't quite learned how to update it. I guess I could have pushed refresh or something like that. Well, maybe. So now let's style this, and we're going to click Content Style. And you can see there's now it now has 4 channels, and there's a new alpha channel. For now, it's just using an RGB assignment. Now we're going to use an RGB-A assignment, which is telling Manifold to style this image using red, green, blue, and alpha channel. Use the alpha channel as a transparency, and you can see what it did. Where this mask was, let's move the mask above here, where there were black pixels, that tells it to use a 0 value for transparency, and where there's pixels that have 255, the alpha channel tells it to use full transparency. So the net effect is as if we knocked out those, knocked out all the other pixels except for what you see here, and that's a pretty cool deal. That you can use this to generate things like photographic imagery over top of terrain elevation data, or over top of street maps. And let's add another street map here. Let's use let's use well, I'll create it here so you can, I'll do it here so you can see everything on screen. Create new data source, and we'll choose OpenStreetMap base. Okay, so use that. Yeah, let's use that. Let's drag and drop this over top of this image. There you go. So that's what OpenStreetMaps look like, and you can see all the names of the different streets here. For example, there's Minuteman Drive, there's Missile Drive. And what we have here, what we've knocked out and we're showing photographically, is this is a storage area that contains 170 nuclear warheads. This is a typical storage arrangement for nuclear warheads, where you can see it has high towers. And for example, here's one of the high watchtowers right there. And there's a typical double fence and all that stuff. And here's the double entry fence where you kind of get in, and this gate opens, you come part of the way in, that gate opens, you're kind of locked up here until you're cleared, and only then can you go through. And to sort of match the storage area of the nuclear area, what we have here is the other most vital part about a nuclear missile installation, and right here is the Dunkin' Donuts. If you know Cheyenne, you know that right here is the Dunkin' Donuts, and here's the commissary, and there's a GNC market right here. So this is basically the supermarket and the Dunkin' Donuts. So those two things kind of goes hand in hand. I hope you've enjoyed this video. What we've seen is how you can use the join dialog for a variety of cool functions. We've used it to transfer values from areas into a raster image. We then use that raster image as in a raster to raster join to add a fourth channel, an alpha transparency channel to an RGB image, and then we use that alpha channel to knock out all the pixels except just the ones that we wanted to see. So thanks for watching, and goodbye from Manifold Land. Well, that was fun. If you want to see more, visit us at www.manifold.net. As always, Manifold delivers the world's most advanced, highest quality spatial products for GIS and DBMS at a low price that you can afford. Once again, that's manifold.net. See you soon.